Hey you, welcome back to The Dawn Show with Dana Spain.
Hi.
Who created DLG Communications, which is a branding company, the founder of Paws, which saves thousands of animals. And so are you going to run for mayor? Because there's this nice little buzz going on that...
That's what people are saying.
They said we don't have quality women, which just doesn't that infuriate you when they say that? But so I was so happy to hear when Tom Knox said he wasn't going to run, and
he is. I believe Tom is.
Is he going to run now?
That Tom is running.
All right.
I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be running.
Yeah.
I'm working out the details. Like, I approach most things in a very linear, masculine fashion. I've been told that I have to do my due diligence. Unlike people who can just say, "Oh, today I'm running for mayor. I think I'm going to run for mayor today." I really need to look at if my run is viable. If I have the support that I think that I have, if I know enough about what I want to do with the city and how to fix the things that are really problems, while championing for what we do have and lauding all of the great stuff that we have in Philadelphia. So it's been a process. I'm not just jumping into it, but
you've been talking to a lot of people.
I have been talking to a ton of people, and you know what's interesting is that everybody that I've spoken to on both sides of the aisle, Democrat and Republican, have been extraordinarily generous with their time. I think right now they see me as a non-threat.
Which is why they're being so nice.
Well, there was an article that came out in one of those magazines that made it look like I was running for prom queen instead of mayor. Oh, isn't she cute? Oh, that's so nice.
She has a fashionable mayor.
Yay.
Fabulous. Hercules.
We want to run for mayor. Isn't that cute? Put her in a corner and put a crown on her head. So I think that when I'm talking to people, especially in the political arena, oh, she's just the Paws lady. We could give her an hour. She's so nice. We like what she does with animals. I say, okay, let them have that.
Well, in a way, it's nice if people don't have the expectations, they don't see you coming. But so let's go through it. I mean, right? I did check. I mean, you're still registered as a Democrat.
I am.
What would you run as?
Most probably an independent. I think that there needs to be something solidly in the middle. And although most of my fiscal policies are very Republican, I think the Republican Party still needs to get its act together. The Republican Party scared me as a woman during the last election, and I really took a look at it and said, who are these people, and what era are they living in? And even our local party is just now coming around to see, okay, you know what, we have to be more inclusive, we have to change our dynamic, and we really have to look at what our party platform has been. And I think in Philadelphia, the R next to your name makes it an uphill battle, Mount Everest.
But at least they have a structure, and they have, so you would have no machine. And it gets ugly at those polling places.
So I've heard. I play nice with others, but apparently some people don't.
It gets nasty.
I look at it as this. I've built businesses. It's in my blood to build businesses. I've built volunteer connections. I've built networks. And I believe I'll have to build my own machine. I would rather have people that are loyal to me that I don't owe something to. And that's what's so dirty about our politics in the city, is that everybody that's in the system owes somebody something. Oh, well, if you raise money for me, you can have this job that you're completely not qualified for but pays you 6 figures a year to do nothing. That's not the way I run a business. I'm going to have the best people in every single position so that we can look at the city as a whole and say, how are we going to fix the problems that we have? And make a forward-thinking plan, not just put out fires, which is what City Council and the mayor have to do now. But really look at where are we going to be in 3 years? Where do we want to be in 5 years? How can we set something up for success while solving the problems along the way? And so I need very smart, efficient people around me, and that's the teams that I've built for all of my companies.
Well, but building a company is different than going into a city that is said to be corrupt, that is said to be run by the machine, that is a one-party system, that is pretty much bankrupt. Taxes are going up. The schools are a hot mess. I mean, what's your platform? What would be first on the list?
First on the list is cutting waste. Looking at the budget line by line by line. And I know that I've said this to people and they're like, you shouldn't say that out loud. You remember the movie Dave? Mm-hmm. Right? He's looking for money in the federal budget, and he brings his accountant, his personal accountant, and he says, if anybody can find the money, it's this guy. We're so entrenched there needs to be outside eyes that come into the budget and say, where's this $150,000 going? Where's this $100 million going? Why are these people getting this? There's so much money moving around that's not going where it should be going. So the first is cut waste and find out where all the special interests are getting their money and close that tap. The next is collecting the money that we know is on the street. And I'm talking about the money because not every problem can be fixed with money. But some of our neighborhoods, gentrifying our neighborhoods and fixing the streets and taking care of our first responders, that all comes down to money. And so the city keeps crying, oh, we don't have any money. We don't have any money to have engines and ladders for all of our firefighters.
Right.
We don't have the money to have a new fleet of vehicles or the best possible protection for our police officers. No, we do have the money. We're just spending it on people who aren't doing anything, who are just kind of sitting around and sucking off the system because that's what they've done so long. We're going to stop that. In addition, the property taxes. They're raising property taxes on people who already pay their properties when we have $500 million on the street in unpaid property taxes that we know of. That's abysmal. Where are the tax liens? Why aren't we confiscating the houses and the properties and reselling them at sheriff sales to people who will pay the taxes, not only back taxes, but pay taxes up front to own those properties?
But Dana, this all sounds good. And I think a lot of people listening would say this would be great. But how do you do that? And how much of your own money, I mean, how much of your own money are you willing to spend? And at the end of the day, do you really think you have a shot to win?
That's a very good question. I would tell you that I don't do anything that I don't wholeheartedly believe that I'm going to be good at and that I'm going to win. So I don't take this lightly. This isn't a popularity contest for me. It is, at the end of the day, when everybody goes to the polls, who do we like better? But for me, this is, let's make my life difficult and get my name out there. I have a very nice life. I really do. But I also love my city. And it hurts me every day to read the paper and find out about the corruption and the graft and the nepotism and the patronage. And everybody says, oh, well, that's just Philadelphia. It's never going to change. I am that agent of change. And as a woman, I really believe that I can speak to other women about that and let them see that the writing on the wall that they've lived with for all this time doesn't have to be, especially in the neighborhoods that really need us.
I want to hold that thought because I do want to talk about women in leadership positions when we come right back.